And welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our show brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control. When it comes to termites and other creepy crawlers, this family-owned business is who I trust to protect my home, but they also handle pests. Thus, Southeast Termite and Pest Control, as in mice, rats, other large varmints. Bob would just, pull out a gun and shoot him in his home, but I wouldn't do that, so I would call Southeast Termite and Pest Control, not only termite control, not only bugs, but also those varmints and pests and critters that you don't want in your home. Give them a shout. Great family business. All right. Huge game this afternoon. It's Manning versus Brady, number 17. A win moves Manning to his 4th Super Bowl. A loss, and technically, possibly, it could be his last game, depending on if he retires. Well, that would be it if he retires. Yeah. So we could be seeing the end of an era today if he loses. Going to ask this question for Jimmy and Chuck. I want to start with some interesting numbers. Let's go ahead and put the graphic up if we can. All right. A win today will make Manning the first starting quarterback in NFL history to start multiple Super Bowls with multiple teams. First to start multiple Super Bowls with multiple teams. Just another record for Peyton Manning. But to do that, he will have to become the first quarterback ever ranked worst in the league in passer rating to win a conference championship game. In 49 years of the Super Bowl era, no bottom-rated passer has ever won the conference championship game. Here's my question for Chuck and Jimmy. And you see there, everybody always says, well, Dilfer. The Ravens ranked 20th. The Broncos ranked 31st, and Manning is last in the league personally. But here's the question. Those awful numbers for Manning. Is that the same guy that you saw against San Diego that you saw last week against Pittsburgh?
No, I think he had to have the time off, and you had multiple injuries that Peyton Manning has been dealing with. So no, I think he is much closer, but he still has, had some problems.
Okay, I think those stats a little misleading. If he wins today, I don't think it's the equivalent of most worst passer in the NFL.
No.
I think he was hurt for much of that, and that brought one on.
Exactly.
And also, I thought he played pretty well last week, and I'd heard some people ripping him, looking at his numbers. He had about 7 passes dropped. His numbers would have looked a lot better if his receivers had helped him. So I thought I saw more arm strength, and I thought I saw better Manning last week than I had much of the season. And look, there's no question he doesn't have the arm that he used to have. I don't think anybody debate that. But I thought he looked better last week than he looked most of this year.
Yeah. All right. Let me throw one here at Bob and Mike after we run through a ton of stats. Look at the Brady-Manning comparison, if we can get to these. There you see their seasons. Manning's had 2 more. Both of those guys had 1 season where they didn't play, basically, due to injury. Manning with about 40 more games. Manning with a better completion percentage. Manning with a lot more yards. Touchdowns, he's got about 100 more than Brady. Interceptions, Brady has about 100 less than Manning. Their head-to-head all-time wins, 11-5. Everybody knows that. There's their all-time salaries. So Manning's got him in the money department. So we got that. And then the next page, we got their playoff game record, or playoff games total. Brady has been in 31, Manning 26. Playoff records, you see them there. That's kind of the one area that's been a question mark for Peyton Manning over the years. Head-to-head playoff wins, 2-2. AFC title game wins, though. Manning has won 2 out of 3, and he would be 3 in a row if he wins today. NFL MVP, 5 for Manning, 2 for Brady. Super Bowl wins, Super Bowl MVPs go to Brady. Guys, you look at those legacies, especially Manning's. Can anybody's legacy change today? In other words, if Manning wins today, what does it do for his legacy? Or does he have to win another Super Bowl to kind of get that, to finally put the nail in that coffin?
I think Manning has to win another Super Bowl. Now, I think if this is his last game and he does retire, I mean, what do you say? One of the 2 or 3 greatest quarterbacks that's ever lived, so I don't think it's like his legacy needs a whole lot of polishing. But I think it does take him to another level. If you're a multiple Super Bowl winner, that gets you in conversations from now to the end of time that most quarterbacks who have won 1 Super Bowl don't get into. So I think it can boost Manning a bit if he can win today and win the Super Bowl. I think it could also hurt him if he wins today and loses the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Super Bowl loss.
Because it's so stupid. I think it's stupid, but I think it's true.
My answer to this is based just on playoff stuff. I think Tom Brady can't, losing's not going to affect Tom Brady. His high positive image is proven. It's done. His legacy, it's already there. Losing today is not going to hurt that. Peyton, it's almost like his negative legacy is what it is in playoffs, and losing today is not going to change that. But if he wins today, I think he can change his positive legacy.
And I think the other thing, yes, I agree with you. And I think the other thing it does is it enables a lot of people to say, Brady's got the more wins against him. But you can go back and say, yeah, well, they played in 4 conference championship games, and Manning's team won 3 of them. They won his last 3 playoff games against Brady. So that gives his supporters something to throw when it's, well, Brady did all this. Oh, yeah, well, Manning did this to Brady.
See, that really surprises me. I don't even remember that because I'm so used to hearing about Peyton's troubles in the playoffs. I'm really surprised by that stat.
Yeah, he beat them in Indianapolis. He lost to them in New England, beat them in Indianapolis, and then beat them in Denver the last time they played an AFC title game. All right, when we come back, what should Peyton Manning do? Do we think he'll retire? Do we think he'll go on to coach quarterback somewhere else? Or do we think he'll be back with the Broncos? Come on back and we'll tell you.
From East Tennessee to Kentucky, no job is too small for Benedict Construction. Electrical work, heating and air installation, even carports and garages. With a reputation for excellence, rely on the custom work of Benedict Construction.